back to our channel.
Hey y'all.
So today we wanted to bring you an informational video, information that would have been helpful when we were going through the interview process.
This is timely because the interview process got pushed back. It's usually like in August and September and October-ish is like the late end. But because like COVID and everything, this year it's in January and February. So we've been having these conversations right now. So we're like, okay, let's start a video to help y'all out making this decision.
Vault and chamber aren't the end all be all, if that makes sense. I know in law school, a lot of people tend to go based on the vault or the chamber rankings when they think of prestige or job opportunity or experiences after you leave a law firm.
So for people in law school, I guess your suggestion would be like ask people that work there? Like how do you?
If you're doing second looks, because I think that's when it's appropriate, you can say, I'm looking at these specific practice groups at this firm versus these specific practice groups at that firm. What do you think would be better for me? This is the kind of trajectory I'm trying to go down. Like maybe something like that. Say like it differs. You can't just be like, well, this is number 5 on vault and this is number 1 on vault. It's like, for what?
Yeah.
Like, are you looking at money? Are you looking at growth opportunity? Are you looking at opportunity to become partner? Like all those things.
For me, one of the first things I thought about was that as you're going through the process, you're interacting with recruiters a lot because they're the ones connecting you to different lawyers to talk to. Something I wish I would have known is that, and this might sound stupid, was like once you actually work at the firm, like you're not interacting with recruiters that much. Their job is like to make sure you have a great summer experience. Their job is to make sure you get to the firm, all that type of stuff. So I was interacting with them a lot. And when I got there, I'm like, man, where did they go? Not that the lawyers weren't good too. I expected to see them a lot still for some reason, and that's not the case. So pay more attention to the culture of like the lawyers you're speaking to. Think critically about the people you're interacting with.
And I guess I have one that touches upon both of those points, but is, in my opinion, different and important in another way. As a 1L, as a 2L, you don't really know what practice group you want to go into. But if you have some sort of idea, maybe you like legal writing and reading and you essentially may want to go into litigation or something like that. If you have some idea of what practice group you want to go to, try to talk to people in those practice groups, because it is very likely that a practice group culture, especially if each group is siloed, is very different than the firm culture or the firm vibe that you're getting. And I know this is firm heavy because all we can do is speak on our experiences, but I think that these probably also relatable to other areas of the law.
Yeah.
I knew I wanted to go into the funds group. I didn't interview with anyone from funds. People that I loved the most were in debt, and if I didn't like the personalities of people in funds group, that kind of would be like, well, I feel like I was sold a dream.
Yeah.
But you weren't, you're just not in debt.
Yeah. The next piece of advice, I don't have a cute way to package it. Everyone's experiences are different, and I kind of conflated a lot of narratives. So I would hear narratives of people, I like come to the firm pretty late, and if you've been interviewing, you've probably heard this before. You're a corporate associate, like work comes in later, so I get there like 10:30. When I got there, I'm like, I'm getting here early, and I'm like working with early risers, and that just like wasn't my experience. Your experience is just not going to be identical to someone else's experience, even if you're in the same firm. Like, you're working with different people, different practice group, like Sam said. I kind of wish I took everything with a grain of salt. That was your experience, cool, but that doesn't mean it's going to be mine. I just started realizing that as I started practicing, like, oh, this is not at all what people like were describing. Like, I get up really early every day, like stuff like that.
Yeah, so, everyone gets in at like 10:30. Everyone on my floor is there by 9.
Yeah, I was
if
like,
I get there at like 9:15, everyone's already there.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know if y'all were trying to make yourself seem cool. I don't know if this is true, but either way it goes, that's not my experience. That's not my experience.
So what we may ask when we do callbacks is, can I speak to other Black associates? And you should ask to speak to candidates of that demographic across years. Because a firm may be very heavy on the first and second year level, but that shows you nothing about retention. So if you want to be at a firm long term and they have no associates of color that are beyond their first year, that's something you should know at the very least. Talk to like 7 Black people, and those 7 Black people are all first years. So it's something you should think about. There should not be a huge gap between the partnership level, or even if there are no partners of color, like that's something you should know, and the junior level.
Even if you don't want to be there long term, there's a reason why people didn't stay. You know, say everyone's leaving at their 4th year. Something about their 1st through 3rd year made them not want to stay. It could have been like they came in with that intention, or it could have been like a variety of things. Like sometimes I feel like that can be indicative of a lot of things. Like,
I agree, because
of a bad experience as a junior.
And don't let people chalk it up to, well, everyone leaves, right? Because this is big law, it's hard. Everyone, that's just not true. Like, there are people that come into big law and they want to be partner.
Yeah.
And they may have left to go to another firm because of growth opportunity, whatever it is. But that's something you should know. You shouldn't just think that, oh, the turnover is just so crazy that everyone leaves after their second year. Like, no, there might be a problem.
This isn't a huge one, and it may not even be relevant given who knows how long we're gonna be virtual. But something I really liked about being in the office and my experience was that in my firm we don't sit next to our practice groups, and we don't like.
I don't like that.
Yeah, I liked that a lot. This is a job as a junior, you don't really have like that much autonomy, but I had pretty much a lot of autonomy over being in and out. No one was really checking for me. I mean, it was a double-edged sword because sometimes I'm like, oh, this is pretty isolated, but other times it was kind of nice. I can work from home in the morning and come in the afternoon. Literally the only person that's gonna notice is my office mate. I can move and be about how I want to, and no one's gonna come from next door and like knock on my door or anything like that. So, I mean, that's like a personal preference, and I wouldn't say that's like a deal breaker for a firm, but something that I didn't realize that I actually really appreciated about being in the office.
This also goes back to firm culture, where it's important, right? Because as you describe that, to me it sounds horrible.
Yeah.
Right? And it sounds horrible because I'd rather work from home than be somewhere where no one knows I'm there. It's like, I want to be in your face. Like, I want to get coffee and say hi. Those are the kind of the subtle things that you don't really know about, that you should know about, because that matters. Like, FaceTime is important because if you're a person that's more productive at home, you're not sitting in the house. Like, you're working, you're being productive. So that's something to think about if your firm allows for more time at home. I think everyone will allow for more time at home after this.
Yeah,
choice.
Yeah, I don't know like how relevant this is in the future, but
pre-COVID perspective
yeah.
is something you should think about. So this is another one. This is kind of tailored towards Black and Asian people, I think. Not really like diverse generally. Responses to a lack of diversity. Especially like right now, because it's such a hot topic. Once you got the offer, these are the kind of questions you ask when you're trying to feel out the culture. What are the responses? Because you want to be able to weed out whether or not it's just lip service. And I think that right now, because of the fact that this topic is being taken seriously, people are listening, people are aware. From my experience, there are firms that are doing stuff and there are firms that are not. So it'll be clear.
Yeah, the firms that are doing stuff, firms that aren't. And ask about like, promotion. Like, God forbid, like you're not gonna lose that offer. So I would ask all that type of stuff. How was this partnership class different from last year's? You can ask those questions because for some firms, it was worse.
Yeah.
You know, for some firms it was the same. And the like firms that are the loudest online on their websites about diversity, that doesn't mean that behind closed doors they're really doing the work. So you can ask those hard-hitting questions. But yeah, I agree with Sam, ask it. Well, my preference is ask after I have a callback, but I mean,
yeah, I ask after you have an offer for sure.
Really sophisticated questions you can ask in your second look, like how evaluations work, how often are you evaluated, if you care about pro bono a lot, are you evaluated on pro bono, stuff like that.
And if you're someone who believes in pro bono, if you want to go to a firm that is showing you that they're actually committed to it, not just like, yeah, we're committed to pro bono, and then you get there, oh no, that doesn't count for your billables. Okay, so when am I gonna have time to do pro bono? So yeah, there's one that I've heard people talk about, but I don't think it's that important, or I don't think it's something you ask straight up. I don't know. But anyway, that one is how suitable is the firm to last in a downturn? And that may be important. We've all lived during the pandemic, and it's been a horrible situation for everyone. And the last thing you'd want to do is get furloughed on top of that if another situation like this happened. So people ask that, what did you do during the economic crisis? What was the pandemic response? Did you furlough any staff? You know, like that's putting our staff into a horrible situation. Did you furlough any attorneys?
That's a very different question.
Yeah, that's a very different question.
Yeah.
Some people will tell you they didn't furlough any attorneys, but you furloughed staff. Like, those are people that are important too.
Exactly. Back to like diversity point, and this is just like I guess a personal thing, but I kind of recommend asking when you have a second look, like what people were doing for the 2020, like it got super popular to talk about diversity. But that's something I care about. I care about like, is there like an ounce of genuineness in this? You're gonna have to show me that this is not just lip service. Yeah. Okay. So, but that's like, yeah, personal. I haven't like heard that advice from anybody or something like that, but yeah. I think that covers it for me. That's everything that was on my mind. Yeah, me too. Good luck if you're going through the interview process. Hopefully you get your heart's desires and it's something that is a very good fit for you for whatever your long-term goals are. And hopefully this is helpful. Yeah. Or this was helpful. Yeah. All right, and as always, I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share, and watch out for more videos. See you guys.